This video has been a whole month in the making because it has been raining and snowing and nasty, and I have not been able to complete this project. The good news is I haven't really had to water either because of the feet and feet of snow that have come over the last month. But I want to catch you up on something that I've been doing here, and let's take you back a month and then we'll jump back up to the present and I'll show you how everything's doing. Today I'm going to be installing 2 more irrigreen heads onto my system. If you haven't seen it already, take a look over here. This video, I broke down what my water savings were and doing a hybridized system. And so now I'm just converting the whole thing over. Let me show you everything that you're gonna need. Obviously, you need your irrigreen head. That's what's in the box. Your comms cable, important. You're gonna need this swing arm guy right here, also very important. And then, you're also gonna need one of these. Comes in handy when you're burying the line or when you're just cutting out the turf, and a shovel capable of giving you lots of splinters. Those are very important as well. Old can of glue that's rusted shut, gonna be very important also. A little bit of extra pipe just in case you need to make any changes or turns. We also have our trusty pipe cutters. A little extra tape, always good to have on hand. And then I have a couple of different fittings here. And then once we get into this retrofit, I'll show you how this is all gonna go together, but let me give you an idea. So we've got these 1-inch connectors that hose is gonna screw into. We've got our 90s, that's gonna come off the line. And then I'll set that sprinkler just a little ways from the main line. But we're gonna cut the main line here. Keep saying main line, it's actually just one of the station lines. So we're gonna cut it just back here. And let me walk you through like the measurements of how this whole thing's gonna work, okay? Let's take a look real quick at where we're gonna set this thing. So this building back here is about 40 feet long, which is a nice little kind of, gives you sort of an idea of distances when we're out here. But what I need to do, based on the pressure and what I've seen on my irrigreens before, I don't wanna be more than about between 25, 27 feet from its furthest throw point, which is gonna be that back corner right over there. And then we've got this corner here. So what I do, it's very scientific, is I just walk this thing off. Very crude and rudimentary way of doing things, but I'll step that thing off so it comes from the farthest corner to where I think that I need to set that particular sprinkler so it reaches the farthest point. So that's what you're thinking about when you're setting these up, is what's the farthest point that you can get to. Now, these sprinklers will throw up to 35 feet if you've got a nice high pressure system, good volume. So keep that in mind. It might be different at your house than it is at mine. But for the sake of what we're doing today, I don't really want to go more than that, like 24 feet, like I mentioned. So I'm setting that thing right about in line with the stack on the house. I had to run down and grab a pickaxe. Here's my effort so far. I'm sorry that in that last shot, the trench was just slightly out of screen, but what I want to do is get my sprinkler head so that it's only, sticking out of the top of the soil by about a ½ inch, so I don't really run the risk of hitting it with a lawnmower blade or anything. We're already to the point of prep. My hole's deep enough here. We're gonna put our elbow here. We're gonna set the sprinkler head, and then we're gonna work on running the wire and testing everything out. So there you go. I ended up adding one more head up behind in the backyard, and then I put another one back in here. This is something I'd actually taken out. But one thing that I noticed this year, and it has something to do with my water service, the pressure isn't as high this year as it has been in years past. Now, it could be because we're not into like the summertime usage, but they've been upgrading the system around the neighborhood, so I had to make some adjustments. This single head here was able to manage the entire golf green last year, and it just won't make it this year. So I put that one back into play. Now there's two down here, and they're cut evenly across the green. Now up on the main body of the lawn, I've added one here in the flower bed, just behind me. And I actually am not going to use the drip this year. I have the thing set to water these plants, and then it's coming across the trampoline on one side over there, dipping down, and then hitting this other side. So it's really avoiding that section. I apologize for the wind. It has been nonstop, just bad weather. This was where I ran that line through the middle. Kind of from here, the grass is healing up. But again, we just haven't had good turf growing weather. I really need to feed this thing. The last addition was just back over here in the middle of the lawn, and again, because of the way the water pressure is this year, I'm going to kind of wait just a little bit so it's not fully bedded down, but it isn't quite getting over to where I need it to. So I may have to move this. That's why I haven't really focused on finishing this thing off and really cleaning it up. But I got to get it to that corner, and I'm missing just a tiny little section over here. So I have a few things to work out. But again, like I said, I need to just wait a tiny bit because I don't know that our entire water system in the neighborhood is fully running at like total capacity. So we'll figure that out a little bit later. Now, just quick update. This was that area where I put down that easy seed. It finally started to do something, and I did do a test on that. It took almost 21 days for that seed to germinate, and then my dog took the cups and ripped them up. No shit, the dog ate my homework. The turf mend section is really coming very well. You can still see it's like a little bit kind of lumpy, just because it's going to take a while for all that to grow back up. But I'm thinking it's only going to be a couple more weeks, and I may need to do some sort of seed stuff to kind of level this section. Otherwise, as soon as I start watering regular, that's going to be great. I'm due to feed. I've got to feed this thing. I need to go ahead and get it started. So we'll get into that in a later video. And check this out just real quick here at the end. There is a big Memorial Day sale going on with irrigreen. If you are still considering this, it's a pretty big deal. Check the link down below. You can see how that whole thing works. If you already have one, you're expanding, could be an opportunity for you to grab a couple extra things. But hey, that's where we are. I'll talk to you later. See ya.